I'm telling this story for anybody who ever got double crossed by a person they just totally didn't expect it from. You know, I've been double crossed before, and by my own family. But this is for people who were in a relationship, man, and they got their, especially men, because when we lose the relationship, we kind of lose everything. And the woman kind of gets away with a lot of things, even if it was their fault. Now, you should understand. Don't get in these as a young man. I'm telling you, don't get in a relationship and you're not on your purpose, and you're not doing your relationship, your not relationship, but your career isn't on the right path. Because you literally don't know who you're with. There's a lot of competition out there at that time. What I mean, you can easily get overshadowed by just another man that's on his grind more than you, and you can lose your whole family, especially if you had a child. Just a child involved, man. You could, and this is why a lot of young men end up being on drugs and stuff, because certain things happen in their life. So don't even set yourself up, because it'll make you give up a lot. You know what I mean? Just because you invested so much at an early age, just to lose it all. Say that you put $1,000 into on a crypto or some kind of stock, and then all of a sudden, 6, 7 years later, it just tanks, right? You're gonna like, man, I put, almost like, $8,000 on this, and all of a sudden it's just gone. That's the feeling. You feel like you wasted your time and effort, because there's really not an award for that. It's time that you can't get back. And you realize just how much time you missed, in situations like that. And I think that's one of the worst things a young man can go through. That's what this video is for, man. It's because you should be taking that time off of the phone, off of the dating websites, and focus a lot of time on yourself. A lot of guys want to have, a lot of intimate relationships with girls, because of raging hormones. But that same energy that you have to create a life is the same energy that you need to hold in yourself so you can change your life. That energy is meant for change. And I'm not going to get too, philosophical and, spiritual, but that is energy that you should maintain within yourself, like, especially at a young age. That energy that you feel, the attractiveness that you have towards the women, that's nothing but life going through you. That's the feeling that you have to have in order to create a life. So it's going to be pretty hard to make a life with a person that you're not attracted to, and you don't, you should be literally focusing on some kind of skill, some kind of trade, something that you can master, hone those skills. You see what I'm saying? So if you're 21, you still have 79 more years before you get at least 100 and die. So that means, you still have a good, man, 49 years at least. 0 to 21. Yes, I say go without women, go without friends and clubbing, because you literally have 49 years to do that. And you're wasting the first 21 unreusable years of your life. Like these are like the years that you can't reuse. There is no reward for how much effort and time that you put into things. And this is I wish it was, but since it's not, I mean, sometimes people are a waste of time. And so, getting latched onto girls, things that make your brain go crazy with, chemistry, like they say, dopamine, things that make you get this, instant gratification. I can call this girl, get on social media and see what I want to see. What I want to see is fun to me. You have that type of thing that when you get in relationships and do things that's serious, you can't back out of them. And so you kind of stuck. You know what I mean? And so if you get into a situation where you have to make a choice and you're locked in, hey, If you're not really on your purpose or are really ready for that at that moment, you're going to go down. And I'm sorry, man. And a relationship is one of those things that if you invest in it and you just hoping that it goes right, when at the end of the day, nobody's even developed themselves. Nobody genetics even really properly kicked in. You haven't really. You don't know what this person is going to be at the age at certain ages in life. Some people minds change when they get 25 plus. By that time, you already got a little rug rat crawling around on the floor, hollering dada. You already got all these big future plans in your head, especially as a man, because that's your job. You know, you kind of think ahead and you plan. I don't want to say that this can't happen to a female, because it can, but naturally she's the selector. You know, this all comes at, you'll be at the short end of that stick, as they say. You know, you have to make sure that you got all your I's dotted and your T's crossed. And usually that doesn't happen until you at least get to the age of, I say 30, because usually by that time a man is getting on his feet around that time. You know, at the age of 30 for a female, she usually has a child already, and, her looks are kind of going away. Your looks are just now trying to start up. You know, you're in your prime or headed towards your prime, and most likely you're just now, if you did it the right way, you're just not getting your life on track and ready to have a family. So most likely you're going to be looking for some girl, maybe 25, say you're 35, maybe looking for a 27, 28. By the time you get 30, the girls that's 30 years old, or they already have a baby, you have to make sure all those things are lined up before you can even think about being serious about a girl. Because if you do this at the age of 14 and 15 and you don't think that something could possibly happen, when you don't understand that much about life, you need to hear something like this. This can really, take you a long way, keep you from a sad, disappointing future. And, it's the best way to do it, especially as a man. Because you got to think about it. You can have kids till you get at least 70. A woman can't have kids, but just at least for 45 years. And then maybe she's probably can't even have any more kids. That's what mostly women do. And it's just nature to want to hurry up and be able to have a child while you have a chance. So at the age of 30 or 35, you as a man, you'll naturally be with a female that's, if she doesn't have kids already, she'll be in her younger years, and you can take care of her, provide, and everything squared away. And that's how this game goes. Want you guys to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think about this video. Till next time, y'all. Peace.